But today's video is about 8 TikTokers who captured their final moments. And when I say capture the final moments, y'all know exactly what I'm talking about, man. But let's get into it right now and see what's going on. Be sure to smash that like button. The more like this video get the higher rate, man. Let's go ahead and go crazy on that like button right now. To take 5 seconds out y'all day, man.
August 23rd, 2021. Kubra Dogen goes up to the roof of her cousin's house to record a video for her TikTok followers. Now what starts off as fun and harmless quickly turns into the last time she was ever seen on camera. Here are a few TikTokers who captured their final moments.
Hey, look at me. Did you follow me on Instagram yet?
Nope.
If you did not, then you need to follow me on Instagram. Come on over to Instagram. Why haven't you followed me on Instagram yet? It's on the screen right now. It's pinned below in the comments and it's in the description. So it's no way you can miss it. Come on over, man.
Felicia Conanchuk.
Там сосед, он пьяный. Он, короче, стучится на дверь, всю ломает нафиг. Он уже несколько минут здесь стоит, стучится, орёт, матерится.
February 17th, 2021. Felicia Conanchuk, a Russian TikToker, was home alone with her 4-year-old brother when a drunk neighbor came knocking at their door. They were about to find out their nice day was going to turn into a nightmare. On this fateful day, Felicia's father left home to visit the local shops, leaving her alone with her youngest brother. As Felicia sat at home enjoying her usual TikTok browsing, she heard persistent and aggressive knocks at the front door. Feeling a sense of unease, she made the decision not to answer, fearing for the safety of her and her brother. The knocks would continue relentlessly for over an hour, growing louder with each passing minute. Felicia's heart began to race as she desperately searched for a way to protect themselves. In a moment of quick thinking, she grabbed her phone and began recording a TikTok video, her last TikTok video. In this video, her voice trembled as she explained the terrifying ordeal she was facing. Her fear could be felt through the screen as she pleaded for someone to come to their aid. This heartbreaking plea for help became her last communication with the outside world.
Он уже час где-то стоит, стучится, я уже, блин, сердце страшно, жестко. Это жестко. Мой брат, короче, спрятал.
During this harrowing ordeal, maintenance men were working on the house, completely unaware of the danger that lurked just a few feet away. They remained oblivious to the persistent knocks, believing it wasn't their business to meddle in the affairs of a visitor. Unfortunately, Felicia's worries went unnoticed, and she was left to face the terror alone with her brother. Finally, the knocks stopped. Just as she began to calm down, her phone buzzed with a message from her friend, asking if she wanted to go to the park. The prospect of feeling safe in the company of a friend was too tempting to resist, and Felicia quickly agreed. It was also around this period that her father came back home. As Felicia eagerly awaited her friend's arrival, she continued scrolling through TikTok. Not long after, she heard a knock on the door. Again, but this time she thought it was her friend. I mean, a lot of people would have thought the same thing. However, as Felicia opened the door, standing before her was their neighbor, Vasil Dunets, who'd been the one knocking forcefully earlier. She immediately tried to slam the door when she saw who it was. However, she wasn't fast enough, and Vasil unloaded bullets from his 12 caliber IZH 43 EM hunting rifle. The bullets go straight through the metal door, hitting Felicia multiple times. The sounds of echoed through the house, causing Felicia's father to run to the front door. In a desperate attempt to save his beloved daughter, he screamed at the maintenance workers to call for help.
That's so sad, bro. Like, and the crazy thing is, that's how I know. When my parents used to be saying, everybody know this right now, when I leave, don't you open that door for nobody. Don't you answer the door. Don't you open the door. Don't you even let them know you asked that you home. And when that used to happen to me, I used to go down there, hide up under the bed because I feel like somebody used to be coming through the door, which is, you know what I'm saying? She was young, so she probably did think it was her friend. But the first thing I would have did, if not, would try to look, or even if I wasn't tall enough, ask, who is it? But that is crazy, man. This grown man and then took the life with that big 12 caliber. Oh my God, bro.
But it was too late. As she slowly succumbed to her injuries, Felicia managed to utter her last words. Dad, I've been The person responsible for this act was
Wow.
Vasil Dunets, a 33-year-old man who had previously been on good terms with Felicia's family. However, recent arguments over noise complaints had left their relationship tense, creating a toxic environment, ultimately leading to Felicia's tragic demise. According to law enforcement,
Wow.
Dunets admitted to the crime and had been apprehended. The investigation is now under the supervision of Alexander Bastrikin, Russia's chief criminal investigator and alumnus of the same university as Vladimir Putin, who leads the Russian Investigative Committee. If found guilty, Dunets will be sentenced to life in prison. Amar Hader. December 30th, 2019. Three friends got together for their TikTok video, unaware that their day would end in tragedy. Among them was a boy named Amar Hader, whose life was about to take an unforeseen and fatal turn. In the neighborhood of Karota Syedan, Sialkot, Amar and his friends decided to upload a TikTok and incorporated a pistol as a prop for their video, a decision that would prove to be catastrophic. Now in this
Right.
video, Amar could be seen holding a pistol as he pinned one of the boys down to a wall with a gun aimed at his head, trying to recreate a scene from someone being held at gunpoint.
Wow.
As they set this scene and recorded their actions, the pistol, which was believed to be safe, discharged unexpectedly. The bullet
Bro, do people not know how to It's no way. Y'all know, if y'all some OGs, y'all know I've been dealing with firearm content on actual YouTube. It can be a little, you know, at times, if you're being very negligent, you can not properly disarm. It was one time I actually did that, where I thought I disarmed the gun and I actually did not. I didn't fire it, but I was playing like I was in the gun range, and the whole time it was actually one in the chamber. One of my friends actually ended up firing off by accident because he thought it was clear. Like he did like this and all that, and then he did like this, and almost that boom. He had it sideways. So that's understandable, but let's see his motive, because sometimes people be having secret motives, man. And
bullet hit Amar in the stomach, killing him on the spot. When neighbors heard the gunshot, they immediately alerted authorities. Amar's friends, both minors, were taken into custody. However, the grief-stricken parents of Amar were convinced that their son's death wasn't an accident but a deliberate act. Our son has been over personal enmity, his father declared. The people in the neighborhood who knew the boys well recounted how the trio was known for their shared passion for creating videos, which were sometimes daring, until things went beyond control on that day. On the other hand, Amar's friends, who were now in the hands of law enforcement, painted a different picture. They claimed it was a tragic accident. According to them, the gun went off in Amar's hands while they were engrossed in filming, despite their convincing version of what happened. Investigations are still ongoing to ascertain what led to the young boy's demise. Harrison Gilks.
This isn't the normal type of stuff I post, but found out today, or it was kind of confirmed to me, that I have terminal cancer.
November 2020,
Wow, man.
Harrison was diagnosed with a rare and terminal cancer called rhabdomyosarcoma. This Canadian teenager was facing a devastating diagnosis after doctors found a large tumor in his prostate and spots in his lungs at the young age of 16. However, instead of succumbing to despair, Harrison made a courageous decision to make the most of his remaining short time.
Okay.
February 2022, Harrison was in remission after multiple chemotherapy and radiation. Unfortunately, just 4 months after this, the cancer came back, and this time it was untreatable. So, with determination, Harrison got on his TikTok account and created a bucket list. He wanted to experience everything he'd always dreamed of, from the
Right.
adrenaline of skydiving to simple joys like spending quality times with loved ones. Now, interestingly, his TikTok post about this quickly gained traction, and overwhelming support from his 314,000 followers poured in. So thanks to the generosity of many, Harrison began ticking off items from his bucket list. He went on thrilling adventures, both on land and in the sky, capturing each moment to share with his growing audience on TikTok.
Right.
Along the way, he would update his fans about his health.
It was also a scan where the big tumor in my prostate stopped growing for now, and the ones in my lungs have only grown a little bit.
And as his 18th birthday approached, anticipation grew amongst his followers. Weeks passed without any updates, leaving his followers anxious and eager for news. Finally, Harrison returned with a somber update. He had revealed that the chemo he had undergone throughout the summer hadn't been effective. The tumor continued to progress, growing larger and spreading into his liver. He also said one of his lungs was filled with fluid. March 21st, 2023. Harrison took to TikTok again one last time. He shared a heartfelt message, acknowledging the slim chances of going home and expressing his gratitude for the support he had received. In his words,
Pray for me and my family. It's been a great ride with you guys. Thank you for all the support throughout everything.
March 30th, 2023. Harrison passed away peacefully, with his family beside him. His brother David also uploaded a video to confirm his death, stating that Harrison was in no pain when he passed away. In his words, after nearly 2.5 years of a hard-fought battle, knowing he did as much as he could, knowing he was loved and strong, he said goodbye.
Rest in peace, man. Rest in peace, man. Cancer is a crazy thing, dog.
Fatty goes to Africa. December 4th, 2022. TikToker Gang Swang, better yet known as Fatty Goes to Africa, went live on TikTok to document a journey through the city of Nepal. And what started as a vlog quickly became his last communication with the world while he live streamed his own murder. 29-year-old Chinese TikToker Gan Swang had a thirst for adventure. His love for travel and fascination with different cuisines and cultures led him to document his experiences in various parts of the world. What started as a personal collection of food reviews quickly evolved into something much bigger. However, what he was really interested in was the beauty and diversity of Africa, hence his TikTok username. The idea quickly gained traction, and Fatty Goes to Africa became an instant success. Gan's account attracted an audience of about 5 million people, who eagerly followed his adventures across the continent. With fame came new opportunities, and Gan built a social media team to support his growing brand. As he gained popularity, his followers became more than just fans. Some of them formed their own social media followings, inspired by Gan's charismatic personality and the adventures he shared. However, not everyone in the content group shared the same harmonious relationship. Among them was Fang Zhangyong, his 37-year-old rival TikToker, who went by the name Ayun. As time went on, tensions between Gan and Fang reached a breaking point. They
was beefing? Nah, that's crazy.
Came to a head when Gan traveled to China to visit his family. Seizing the opportunity, Fang entrusted Gan with $1,500 to purchase an iPhone on his behalf in China. However, upon his return, Fang discovered that no iPhone had been bought, and Gan also didn't want to refund his money. Now, while this story remains unconfirmed, it sparked a series of disputes between Gan and Fang. In addition to this, Fang accused Gan and his team of sending virus-infected meals to his home and destroying his property. Initially, Gan wanted to believe that these claims were baseless, as there was no evidence to support them. However, doubts began to creep in. December 4th, 2022. Gan was strolling through an open market in Kathmandu, the capital city in Nepal, when he decided to go live on TikTok. In this live stream, he casually mentioned, "I've come to up," referring to Fang in Chinese.
这不是什么博莱雅吗？欧莱雅吧？
But what he didn't know was that Fang was approaching from behind with evil intentions. Within seconds of this comment, commotion ensued as screams pierced the air. Fang launched a surprise attack on Gan multiple times in the back and stomach. Gan fell to the ground as he clutched his stomach. Blood was starting to stain his clothes, and despite the pain and discomfort on Gan's face, Fang stood over him and kept scolding him to ensure that even in his final moments, he would know who had won. Gan was in obvious distress as he held his abdomen to inspect his wound. He then made a hand motion indicative of someone asking for a phone, trying to get a hold of ER services. Now, Gan was rushed to the hospital to receive medical attention, but regrettably, it was too late as he succumbed to his injuries. However, Fang's brutality didn't end with the of Gan. He also inflicted a lot of his companion, Li Chuzan. In the days that followed, Fang was arrested by authorities and taken into custody.
So he was trying to go, like, he was trying to unalive everybody. What? I didn't know they going down like that. I thought, buddy, I understand. I ain't gonna lie, 1,500. I see why they was beefing now. That's a lot of bread, bro. It's a lot of bread.
Gan and the on Li Chuzan. Cabra Dogen. August 23, 2021. Kubra Dogen went onto the roof of her cousin's house to record a video for her TikTok followers. But this, my friends, would be the last time that she would ever be seen on camera. Cabra Dogen was a 23-year-old TikToker with a passion for creating captivating content on social media. Born and raised in Istanbul, Turkey, she'd always been drawn to the world of entertainment and storytelling. From a young age, you could see her talent for capturing those perfect moments and sharing them with others. So she felt like she found her calling in the world of social media. In the early days, she would start her travel experiences on platforms like Instagram and YouTube. However, it was on TikTok that she truly found her niche. With the short-time format, it was perfect for her to engage in her creativity and audience. As her popularity grew, so did the opportunities. Brands started reaching out for collaborations. However, with such popularity comes a lot of responsibility and more adventures. And it was during one of these adventures that tragedy struck. August 23, 2021, she paid a visit to her 16-year-old cousin, Helen, at a family apartment in Istanbul, a city known for its rich history and stunning architecture. As the sun was setting, the apartment offered a breathtaking view of the city skyline. With her eye for stunning picturesques, she had the perfect opportunity to mesmerize her audience. She would push the limit on this by getting up to the roof for some better footage. Her cousin Helen went with her, and the two spent several minutes having one of the best times of their lives before it was over. In the video, Helen was holding the camera and recording Kubra as she moved about on the roof, posing at different angles before she sat on the edge.
So crazy, bro.
In a somber turn of events, Kubra decided to try taking shots from a lower section of the roof. It was at this point that Helen was filled with doubts about the sensibility of her move, as she redirected the camera to capture her own expression of deep concern. And that's when it happened. As the camera focused on Kubra, it recorded the moment she was sitting down with her legs resting on a gray plastic panel. Next, she decided to stand on that panel and quickly realized how unsteady it was. Before she could step away from it, the panel gave way with a resounding tear.
Esmer sen güzelsin.
Kubra disappeared from view as she fell 9 stories before hitting the ground. The fall was estimated to be about 160 feet. In a state of shock, her cousin ran back inside the house to tell the family about it. In turn, the family called emergency services right away. It was already too late, as they faced the heart-rending reality that her injuries were too severe, and she'd passed away before any medical aid could be administered. In a shocking twist, Kubra's uncle, Nebi Dogen, stated that the family had cautioned the young woman on numerous occasions about the danger of creating risky content, but she wouldn't listen. The family will also initiate legal proceedings against the contractor accountable for the installation of that fragile plastic paneling.
Wow. I was honestly thinking, like, will they be able to sue them for that situation because it wasn't properly, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's that called? Like, it wasn't properly installed. But that goes into plenty of aspects, man. Like, this doesn't even just have to do with that type of content in general. When it comes to any type of content where you got to risk your life, man, it's not worth it. When you got to risk your life, your freedom, your respect, you get what I'm saying? It's just some stuff it's just not worth it, bro. Like, a lot of people out here selling their souls, which is, I understand being in a position to where you just learning, because a lot of people got to learn sometime from experience. But this stuff just a little different, man. I just some stuff I can't do. And it's one of them is just risking my life. Now, I had to grow from that because, I know my old content, it kind of was there, but it just hit a little different, man.
Inquisitor III, Vincent Plichi, aka Inquisitor Ghost on TikTok with the handle @Inquisitor3, gained popularity as a cosplayer of the iconic Call of Duty character
Ghost,
Simon Ghost Riley. His content earned him a following of 100,000 on that platform, where he shared videos showcasing his costume enactments.
We did it.
Vincent had a magnetic presence on TikTok. He brought his own unique twist to the enigmatic character, captivating the audience with his easygoing and positive demeanor. As his audience grew, Inquisitor III decided to expand his reach by hiring a female editor to help him develop content. What he didn't know is that this female he hired, who went by the name AJ, was a minor, and that she had made some sinister plans with another TikToker to bring him down. Vincent really liked AJ's work and continuously complimented her, often mentioning how fantastic it looked. However, these compliments, including the phrase "I'ma marry you" and "thank you honey," were meant as friendly gestures, ones he used loosely with many people. And then shockingly, Mr. Inquisitor III here would see his innocent comments be twisted and turned against him on TikTok. One user, Tito is acting badly, the same one who made evil plans with AJ, released a statement to his large following, accusing Inquisitor III of grooming his underage girlfriend, who happened to be the editor Inquisitor III had hired, as Tito would also send the misunderstood chats between Inquisitor III and AJ to another popular TikToker called Keegan's Mask, who also posted him without context. And with Tito and Keegan's Mask having a lot of followers compared to Inquisitor, it didn't take long for the accusation to gain traction. Now this would send shockwaves throughout the online community, turning his brand of a loving and friendly face into something sinister. He was
Bro, I got that Dr. Disrespect treatment.
tagged a predator and pedophile. This made the Call of Duty cosplayer stop posting for several weeks, leaving his followers in a state of confusion and concern. September 20th, 2023, Vincent sent a Discord message that pointed out the fact that the weight of allegations and online attacks against him was just too much to bear. "I'm very scared, not gonna lie. I care so much for my community, and the last thing I want is them seeing me like some monster." October 9th, 2023, Inquisitor III went live one last time on TikTok, streaming an empty room with a glass door. The comments were turned off so nobody watching was able to drop a message. As the stream continued, rocks were thrown, and Inquisitor III's family broke into his home. The situation escalated quickly, leaving everybody shocked and confused. His family came into the room and began performing CPR on his lifeless body. One of them could be heard asking for someone to call an ambulance.
What?
A few days later, the truth about the allegations against Vincent emerged. It was all a setup that had been in effect for months. Tito and the editor had conspired to frame Inquisitor III as a predator. Chats that were leaked between the two showed that the young woman had tried to form a relationship with him, but he declined her advances, asking her kindly to stop talking to him. Chat logs between Tito and the editor also showed their plan to gather evidence and tarnish Inquisitor III's reputation.
That's messed up. But in all honesty, if he was still texting back, I'd be feeling like there'd be interest, man, because you can block somebody and not text them back if they too young.
Now, one of the most damning pieces of evidence was Tito saying, "It's not a life or death crisis, and here's what I want you to do. I want you to keep with him and see where it goes. If he starts to get sexual, then I'll expose him. We just need better and more proof." Unfortunately, Vincent didn't live to see his name cleared. In the aftermath, the online community rallied together to honor his memory and ensure that he'd be remembered for the great person he was, rather than the false accusations that tarnished his reputation. Xiao May, June 20th, 2021, a day like any other. Xiao May, a well-known TikTok personality, invited her followers to join in on what was to be a routine live stream from her workplace. She was seen showing her spectacular dance moves in a video she was live streaming on TikTok when tragedy struck. Xiao May was a crane operator and TikTok star known for her lively dance videos.
She look a crane operator. She don't even look like she can operate a vehicle. She looked young.
And for this, she would have a substantial following, which she often shared from her unique vantage point atop the city skyline in Chizhou, located in the western part of China's Xinjiang province. Now, Xiao's content wasn't just about entertainment. It was a window into her world, high above the ground, where she operated massive machinery with skill and grace. Her over 100,000 followers on TikTok and Douyin, the platform's Chinese counterpart, admired her for the lively energy she brought into those videos and the rare glimpses she provided of her day-to-day life. June 20th, 2021. As the clock neared 5:40 p.m. on that fateful day, Xiao was concluding her shift. The site was quiet, with most of her colleagues having already left. Seizing the solitude, Xiao climbed up the crane, making her way to the cabin that served as her stage. There she positioned her camera, ready to share the day's experiences with her eager audience. The live stream started with Xiao's signature dance moves, a joyful expression of her passion for her work and life. Her followers tuned in, captivated by her charisma. But in an instant, the atmosphere shifted. The video feed jolted as the camera plummeted down, capturing only a fleeting blurred image of the crane steps.
Wow.
Eyewitness accounts later revealed a harrowing truth. Xiao had fallen from her perch while clutching her phone. A tragic accident with a 160-foot drop. In the aftermath, her family stepped forward to confirm the devastating news. They also clarified that Xiao's fall was a heartbreaking accident and not a reckless challenge or a stunt gone wrong.
So did they sue
Alicia
them?
Pinky Williams, December 26th, 2020. Ready to enjoy the festive season in the city of Atlanta. TikToker Felicia, going by the name Pinky, was eager to celebrate the holidays in what she believed to be a safe and chaperoned environment. And as she set up her camera to start recording a video of herself dancing, she heard a noise at her door. Tragically, that disturbance was the last thing she ever heard. On that fateful night, Felicia was having fun as she was making her video. The initial plan was for her to attend a supervised gathering at an Airbnb. However, as events unfolded, it became apparent that arrangements had been altered without her family's knowledge. It was discovered that another parent had made provisions for their stay at the Hyatt Regency. It was in this hotel room that Felicia recorded a video of herself dancing on TikTok, December 26th, 2020, at about 12:23 a.m. All seemed normal up until it wasn't. In the clip, it could be seen that Felicia was suddenly startled by something happening behind her as she quickly stopped dancing and ended the video. She heard disturbances at her door, and before she could do anything, someone came barging into her room. The intrusion of someone entering that room was met with a look of additional surprise on Felicia's face. And just as quickly, Felicia was dead. That same night, the police swung into action after that was reported, and soon after, a teenage boy was arrested in connection for that murder. The charges dropped on him were felony murder, aggravated reckless conduct, and the unlawful possession of a weapon. However, for Felicia's family, the shock of her sudden death was made worse.
So they actually end up finding a person? Because the last time I heard about this, they didn't find
Into action after that shooting was reported, and soon after, a teenage boy was arrested in connection for that murder.
So they finally found a guy. It was a long time after. There wasn't no soon after.
The charges dropped on him were felony murder, aggravated reckless conduct, and the unlawful possession of a weapon. However, for Felicia's family, the shock of her sudden death was made worse because it wasn't clear how it happened. They thought that she was attending a chaperoned holiday party at an Airbnb. In addition to this, her family suspected foul play, especially since the hotel room where she was staying was booked in the name of the parent responsible for the change in plans.
That's so crazy, y'all. Just imagine you let your kid go out for fun and vacation and they just don't return home with their friends. That's like some of them like, I don't ever want to be that parent that be like, oh, you can't go here, you can't go there. But when it's like, I ain't gonna lie, it's just different now, man. You dang near gotta be like that if you a parent. Like back then, I guess when I was younger, I know I'm only 25. And when I say back then, I know y'all probably thinking I'm like 35, 45 or something like that, where people really didn't have phones but no. When I grew up, we can go outside. Staying inside was a little different. Like, now you ain't going in that person's house, but you stay outside. Now you can't even go outside, let alone go in somebody's crib, but go to a hotel party where, yeah, a lot of people would have been getting lawsuits about this, man. But y'all let me know y'all thoughts and opinions on this, man. I don't even know how to really kind of prepare yourself for situations that's destined like this, but in some of these situations, I hope that you all learn. It seemed like a lot of this stuff that happened was accidental situations, man. Just make sure that y'all safe and don't do too much for content. Prayers out to the family, the people who actually got their lives taken while on live in some of these situations. And, honestly, everybody that's honestly affected by this, because no matter how they lost their life, the family is grieving. You know what I'm saying? There was somebody's child, somebody's sister, somebody's cousin, somebody's auntie at the end of the day, or somebody's family. But make sure if you all enjoyed this reaction video, you smash the like button, comment, and subscribe. And let me know y'all thoughts on this, man. Let me know y'all thoughts. If y'all ever heard of any other stories that happened on TikTok that's pretty crazy, be sure to DM it to me, email it to me, however you want to go about it. But I see you all tomorrow, man.